Nighttime sharpens, heightens each sensation. Darkness stirs and wakes imagination. Silently the senses abandon their defenses.
Hi there. Welcome to another episode of My Favorite Artists. Today we're going to be talking about my favorite musical theater singer, Michael Crawford. I was first introduced to Michael when I was 10 years old. It was the first Halloween that my twin sister and I had spent at home rather than going out trick-or-treating. We sat up on the porch of our mother's house and tried to tempt trick-or-treaters up the 113 flights of stairs by playing scary music as loud as we possibly could. Didn't work very well. We ran out of music, and I ran inside to get another CD. My mom used to have this enormous wall of CDs, and I browsed through it, and I found one that was black with white writing on it, and I saw that it said The Phantom of the Opera. And I looked at the back, and number 6 was a song called Music of the Night, which I'd heard before. And to test it out, I went upstairs and put it on my boombox in me and my sister's room upstairs and listened to it to make sure it was scary enough. Turned to number 6, pressed play, and my life changed. When I heard Michael Crawford sing The Music of the Night for the first time, puberty kind of hit me. I'd never heard a voice like that before. It was so sensual and sexy and just incredibly moving and emotional and almost painfully sad and heart-wrenchingly, heartbreakingly emotional and full of yearning and longing like I'd never felt before in my life. And I ran downstairs and I said, Sis, you've got to hear this. And we turned it on, and my sister was like, eh. And she since, of course, denied that she didn't like it when she first heard it because we're both just as obsessed. But Phantom and the character that Michael Crawford plays, the Phantom of the Opera, the Phantom of the Opera's real name is actually Eric, E-R-I-K. That's how Gaston Leroux wrote him in his original novel. I love Michael Crawford for a bunch of different reasons. I've watched a whole bunch of interviews of him, and I've found over and over again that he's very passionate, and he doesn't seem to be afraid of looking like an idiot. He doesn't look like an idiot ever. But, well, he can sometimes. Sometimes he's really awkward. But that's just how he is. He's just a naturally awkward person. How Andrew Lloyd Webber saw that in him, I don't know, but I'm glad he did. I've just found in every single interview that I've listened to with him and behind the scenes recording that I've seen of him that he's so driven and so passionate. He's also hysterically funny. There's one particular interview that he does, I can't remember what it's called, but I'm going to show it today, in which he's describing how he, quote unquote, pulls Christine towards him with his hand, and how it's almost like, I mean, the way that he describes it is almost the way the way you would describe miming. You have this incredible, intense pressure in your hand, and it goes all the way from your finger up to your neck. I really, really admire that in him and other musical theater performers who just go all the way there and don't hold back and don't shy back from wearing their emotions on their sleeve. I think that's a beautiful thing, and it's a gift. And it's hard to do because we all get scared and shy and think, oh, I'm going to look like an idiot. But Michael, if he does feel that way, it doesn't look that way. It also helps that he has millions of women screaming his name and wanting to, So I'm going to show you a couple of clips from some interviews that I've found, and And anyway, I'll stop talking. Let's watch some shit.
I find him a wonderful man. And so from inside, that you, as you walk, it's got to come from deep. And I, working this out with Gillian Lynn, the choreographer, whenever you make a move, you don't say either it's turn your face away or come to me. This mustn't be weak. It's got to. As I do it, everything here tightens up, and everything in my body tightens up, so that the strength. It's like isometrics when you.
Tony's body was tightening up just then also.
But when you do that, the veins stand up on your arm, and you feel it in your feet. You feel the power grounding you, so that every move is very, very heavy and
you're there every time.
Yes,
it's not something where you mechanically get it down and then you can rely on the technique. You're there.
Oh yes, yes. You have to. It's a dance. It's movement. It's dance movement. So that as you get out the boat with her, you don't get out looking down. You must never look, and of course that can create moments where you can have an accident. I mean, I think it was yesterday afternoon on the matinee. I know I teetered slightly coming down the steps from the crucifix at the top, and the audience's eye will immediately be drawn to that. So you're going to make mistakes, but you've got to be brave enough to make those mistakes.
What about the not being overt, not touching in obvious ways that one might imagine in this sensual relationship?
No, because I don't think that is as sensual. I don't think it is to touch someone and to think. I think to tease is, yes, it just shows what's inside you, what you want, what you desire, not what you can have and what you're going to get. But it's...
So they put me in this golf cart, and one of the technicians there, blew the tires up on the plane or something. He came and drove me on this golf cart round towards where the car park was, which we were 20 minutes later. We were still looking for the car park, and I arrived there, and there were about 25 state troopers, all pointing submachine guns at what I realized was my driver. And he had his hands above his head. This is in New York. He had his hands above his head with my name on a piece of paper between it, and he was shaking. I said, oh, he said, what are you doing? He put this machine gun in the window. I said, I think that's my driver. So I said, are you my driver? He said, yes, sir, I am Ahmed. I thought...
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, little do they know that it's like the opening night of Phantom in New York. We had enough happen here on the opening night with the boat sort of ending up in Putney and coming back again. but in New York, there's the scene, the end of the show where Sarah Brightman came towards me, and I'm standing, and the mask has been brought off me, and he's sort of revealed and she comes towards me, and she grabs me and kisses me. I won't get any closer than this, but it would be good. But she pulls me towards me, and she kisses me, and I pull away, and I'm, it's Broken Man, and I love playing Broken Men. And as she pulls away, I see that she's got my bottom lip on her mouth. and she's going like this, and I thought, I go, you can't. And of course, Euron's going, he's wonderful, isn't he? So I'm a cross between a hunchback and Frank Spencer, and there's, I'm only supposed to kiss her once, and I thought I'll kiss her twice. I mean, Andrew had warned me not to, so I pulled her onto me. She didn't know what the heck I was doing, because she didn't know she had this lip, another lip. So I pulled her towards me, and I put my hand out. I said, you got my lip. And I had to do it like, you got my lip, because the mic was still on. And she said, what? She she thought I'm trying to put her off on her opening night. So I stuck the lip back on, I went, and it's flapping. You know? So I said, give me another one. So I kissed her. Now it's like a snog. I'm going on, I can't get rid of it. And I put the thing, I've got it in my mouth, and the lip. So I stick it in the side of my in the side of my mouth, and I carried on to the end of the show. I only had one. I just had the top lip. It looked very big.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
He's always wonderful, isn't he?
Yes.
Truly magnificent. Yeah. Yeah. What was that the worst musical disaster you ever had on stage?
Pretty much. Oh, well, I did, you know, when I went to Las Vegas, I had, that was quite fun. One night,
what were you doing there?
I was doing a show called Effects, and he played about 5 different characters, and one of the characters was called Houdini, and he was, of course, dead. This was a dead Houdini. He was no longer. Yes. And he came back in this scene to his wife to sing a love song to her, to say, I'm never far away from you. And so the way we did it was an illusion, obviously. And I sat on this device, which was a saddle, and I had my feet perched on something, and they strapped me in. So you were absolutely the only thing, you could move your arms just like that, because it was very precarious. I sat on this, 2 dressers, one put the shirt on, did it up with Velcro, the other put the trousers on, I Velcroed those, and up in the air I go, and I appear through the curtain and start to lower down, saying, no, Bess, I'm back. And she's going like this, and it was much the same look that Sarah had at the end of Phantom. I worked with a lot of women that look like that after about a month. So I start to lower down, and the number 2 dresser, unfortunately, has not done the trousers up correctly. So they start to go down. And as I descend from heaven, so do the trousers. And I'm left, and I can't move. My hands are there, so you can't cross your knees or protect anything. The trousers end up down here. I've got a flesh-coloured dance belt on, and I didn't realise, of course, I'm sitting on a big black saddle, which sticks out about 3 inches from my groin. Now, I know you're metric over here. In metric is big. Okay? So I'm sitting on this thing with this great big black thing between my legs, and I'm set. Now, I swear, and the audience is full of Asian, they're all Chinese. It's a big convention from China in. And, you know, they do a lot of that. Oh! And, you know, it's like, Michael Crawford. That's what we're doing. That was a lot. Please don't be offended if you're Chinese. That's the way you talk. Now, but they do. So I lower down, and I'm still singing. I'm singing because there's a track going on. I can't stop. It's you know, and I swear are the words I'm singing. Don't be afraid, don't be surprised. Right? This. I know with me you never could believe your eyes.